Good afternoon, fellow Tarot Voyagers. Um, I kind of missed the Oracle of the Full Moon. I have a lot on my plate right now. But today I have a little time, so I'm going to do like a general message for the collective. I hope everyone can hear me because I have these new headphones and everything. All right, so I pulled three cards from the Enchanted Map Oracle deck, which is this. It's very pretty. Hello, Larissa. Hola. Hola, Soraya. Okay. So, the message is pretty clear and simple. The Aquarius full moon, which passed yesterday, we're going to be feeling the effects of it for a while. And basically, it was a moon cycle, a lunar cycle to remove all the obstacles that were getting in the way of our dreams, our aspirations. And the message from the cards is saying the same thing, that we need to kind of like continue, doing the inner healing work, doing the shadow work, doing the journaling, going to therapy, uh, meditation, spending time with the ancestors and the spirits and the guides and the deities to kind of just like go further, because there's a lot of breakthroughs coming in our lives, and it's important that we continue the process that we've been on, because I know 2020 was a rough year for a lot of people. 2021 is still kind of not quite there yet. And we're always going through difficulties in life, but spirit gives us the tools in order to deal with these difficulties. It doesn't necessarily make them go away. Even us, like, spiritual people, we go through our stuff. We still have to worry about like normal everyday things like everyone else, like paying bills, raising children, having a job, like all that stuff. It's not like, the angels come down from heaven and like feed us man, like in the Bible or something like that. Just, life has never worked that way. At least not to my knowledge. So the cards here, the first one, I kind of like this like really prismic background. The first one is solitude. So this is kind of like saying to, take time for yourself, take an inventory of really what's going on in your life, both in this world, in the physical realm, and, spiritually. Is your altar clean? It's like, it's funny. I'm reading this novel about a family of brujas, a family of witches in Brooklyn, and like there's like about three sisters, and the middle sister, her altar is like covered in dirt and ash, and her sister's like getting on her like, when are you gonna clean your altar and everything. So I mean, it's important, like, the physical cleansing and the spiritual cleansing, it's all tied in. All right. So is your altar clean? Are your thoughts organized? Are is there anything you need to release? Like really take a close look, a close examination of what's going on in your life. You need that solitude. It may require a day. It may require an hour or so. Where you could be by yourself and take the time you need. The second card kind of builds upon that. It's called Healing the Ouch. This is so cute. It's like a fox and a raccoon, and the raccoon is in the nursing outfit, and I guess the fox is the patient with the, what do they call that? Like a cold compress. When you're sick, um, or have a fever, they have that cold compress on the head. So basically, healing the ouch. This is any kind of, after you do the self-examination from here, right? And you figure out what needs to be healed, internally, externally. Do you need to go see the doctor? Do you need to get a checkup or something like that? Don't delay on that. Do you need to see your therapist? Do you need a spiritual cleanse? Do you need to do like a bath? Do you need to spiritually cleanse? Whatever it is, then you have to do it. Okay, so once you figure out what that is, that's when you take the action. Okay, this talks about forgiveness. Do you need to forgive yourself? Do you need to forgive others? Now, do not confuse forgiveness with acceptance of bad behavior, because you could forgive the person, right, that maybe did you wrong. Um, that doesn't mean that you have to invite them to your house for dinner. It just means that you kind of like let go of the anger and or resentment or hurt or pain. You don't have to invite them back in your lives. Hell no. But maybe just to let go of the pain that is bothering you. So, they always say forgive and forget. I always say forgive, but don't forget. And that's important, because especially if the person was abusive to you in some way, physically, emotionally, mentally, whatever, you don't want that person back in your life, and forgiveness does not necessarily mean complicity or acceptance of, you don't have to accept that person in your life again, but maybe you just need to let go of the resentment. Okay, which leads us to the last stage. After we, clear everything out with Heal the Ouch, then we can set the intentions for this new era that is opening up, that the full moon in Aquarius has brought us. Okay, then we could figure out, okay, once we've cleared out what's not necessary, then we can set the intentions. So the new moon coming up, all right, which will probably be in Leo, right, in August. That's when we can set the intentions again, right? So that's like 2 weeks from now, and figure out, okay, what do we need to grow in our lives? What needs to be nurtured? What seeds need to be watered in our garden? Whether that's a physical need, a spiritual or emotional need, all these things, all these desires that we have, are sacred. Okay, so never be ashamed of something that you desire, and I think the problem is a lot of us come from backgrounds of organized religion, myself included, and we're taught to be ashamed of things that we want, or we're taught to be ashamed of, the desires that we have. And, the spiritual life teaches us something completely different, that we don't need to be ashamed of these things. These desires are just as sacred as anything else in the universe, right? So set your intentions, okay, and figure out what it is exactly what you want, and don't be ashamed to go after it. Okay, so that's the message for this next 2 weeks. All right, from now until the new moon. So first, take a small part of time, whether that's an hour, whether it's 2 hours, whether that's a day or a week. It's up to you. Take as much time as you need to journal, to figure out what it is you need in solitude. And once you do that, once you figure out what it is that needs to be healed or removed, that's when you begin the healing process. All right, the letting go, going to see the therapist, going to see the doctor, doing the spiritual bath, cleansing, or whatever it is, forgiveness of yourself or others. And then finally, we get to the intention stage, which is the last stage. When this will probably be around the time of the new moon, 2 weeks from now, the new moon in Leo. Set your intentions, be proud of the desires and goals that you have, because they're just as sacred, as important as anyone else on this planet. All right. So I hope this helped, and I hope everyone enjoys their weekend, and I will see you again at the new moon. Take care.